Haha. Can you? I hope that's better. Sorry about that. We were muted. Well, there you go. We are continuing on with our Deco MIDI-fication project. Let me just bring up the design here. We're starting to get to the pointy end of things where we'll be working on the PCB layout and routing today. So really interesting if you're into PCB design, especially some sort of digital and mixed signal layout. So, and this isn't a definitive guide or a be all and end all guide to, mixed signal PCB design or anything like that. Far from it. It's going to be quite a basic design. But without further ado, let me just bring up the project in Fusion. So if you're just following along or tuning in, we're using Fusion 360 for the design because it is freely available. It incorporates both ECAD, so electronic design, and mechanical design into one package. And I think it's a really good option for people who are wanting to get into that space. There's been some controversy, Fusion have stripped away some of the more advanced features for like machining and things like that. But unless you're right into CNC and, kind of complex 3D modeling, then it's not really going to affect you too much. They have education licenses, startup licenses and hobbyist licenses, which are all free. There's not a paid advertisement for Fusion, by the way. I have, quite a lot of issues, things that I would like fixed and resolved with it. But for what it is in the current landscape, I think it's a pretty good compromise. I haven't tried KiCad 6 yet myself. I've heard it's pretty good, so we might explore that maybe in the future. But we are designing with an RP2040, the Raspberry Pi microcontroller chip, which is fairly new. So yeah, it'll be the first time for me looking at that and designing a project with that. So without further ado, let me just check. Hey, there we go. All right. So where's our, hang on. The main project, because that's just the folder. No, we don't want an auto recovery. All right, let's close that and get it out of the way. All right, so if we bring everything, bring our switches and enclosure up. In fact, we'll leave the enclosure off for a minute. We have got our overall design. I've had to cut some notches out of the board here to allow for, we've got our opto coupler there for our MIDI in. Then we've got these standoffs here. So we're going to have to, that's cutting it close there. And what I was doing last week is working out the placement for these mounting holes. So if we go across to our control board here, we've got these 3 mounting holes. So this actually hasn't been pushed yet. So we've got a little bit of just fine tuning on push this to a 3D PCB on the placement of our boards, which is going to determine where our connectors and then our microcontroller can go. But feel free to jump. Please leave comments in the chat. Jump in. We want this to be really collaborative. If you have any ideas or suggestions or, just thoughts on the design process, then by all means, love to hear from you. So we've got these mounting holes. These are on the original board. You see here, we've got these 3, might be better to see from that perspective. There's 3 standoffs, which help to fasten the bottom board in place with some matching holes. So I believe I've got the placement for those correct.